Howdy, folks. Help with Gadgets here. Hope y'all are having a wonderful Tuesday. Mr. Eddie, thank you for being here. Marco, thank you for being here. Hello, Fred. And Fred, the knife on the thumbnail is an RD Blades Spectre. I think this may be number 4, number 3, number 4, something like that. It's a gentleman out of Kansas City, I think. So that's my one true custom of my current collection. KY4G, and thanks for being here. And no, Mr. 80, I don't think I'll disassemble the wood one because it's glued together. However, I would like to disassemble it and improve the tolerances a little bit on this one. It's got a little bit of blade play, but not on the live because that probably is not going to go well. But anyhow, no to doing that on the live. Yes, I think that was the one I just answered. Maybe, hopefully. Thank you, appreciate that. That was actually a gift to me, and that's one that's going to stay in the collection. And I need to look at that, Fred. I know who built that site, so let me take a look at that. Not right now, I don't think, but thank you for letting me know. He was at Blade this past year and had some knives that he was selling. Said he was planning on getting back with making some of these Spectres. In fact, I am going to go over there while we're getting started here and see if well, I can't even spell. It might help if I could spell. But it doesn't help that the keyboard's almost eye level. But no excuses. How's everyone doing this evening? Well, I've got a tab open for it, Fred. I'll take a look at it later. Y'all are a quiet bunch this evening. Either that or I'm not seeing anything coming across. Hey, TKE, how are you, sir? Help with Gadget / Mind of Milton 2024 support. Is that the was there some kind of election today or something? where somehow I was involved. I mean, I'm aware of a different election, but not that I was, not that I needed TKE's vote for. Fred, no worries, no worries. Not a whole lot planned for the live tonight. Well, a few things. Got some pieces here that I'm going to re-ano for the third time, I think. My nephew, who I don't see hanging out in here yet, he's supposed to be here, had mentioned that he wanted me to try different colors. So that's what we're going to try to do, because I think I figured out my issue from last week, was it? I think the amperage was too high on the power supply. So we're going to start out a little bit lower. So, all right, let's see who else. We've got some comments here. Matisfaction says he's here. We can start the show. All right. Thanks, Matty, for being here, man. Oh, man. I don't think I have a baritone voice unless I've got a cold. So I think that's funny. And I think that refers back to this, maybe. I think that's what Matisfaction's saying. That referring to that. Okay. Anyhow, hey, Kathleen Smith, thanks for being here. I do not have a Vostede affiliate link. I don't know about TKE, though. And that scares me a little bit because I don't know what you're ready to start. That is what Matisfaction is saying. They're trying to get somebody to 290 to 300. So is Mr. Eddie at 294? Is that what you're saying, TKE? Let's take a look here. Looks like TK's got you covered with that Vostede link there. And it's so... Okay, let's get Mr. Eddie to 300. All right, excellent, excellent. I don't know how he's got 300, but or 297, but let's get him to 300. Absolutely. All right, TK says use my affiliate link to help the channel, like a little, very little bit. Yeah. Fred, what are you planning on getting from Vostede? Sometimes it's every little bit that we can get, maybe. Not happening. And let's get Mr. Eddie to 300. Looks like he is very close. And let's get him up to that 300 mark. That nightshade is a pretty cool knife. I've had one in the past. My nephew had one. He actually gave his to somebody, not me, but he did give it to someone. Those are neat little knives. And I don't know about the V anchor lock, but I probably need to go look that one up. TK and Mind of Milton are leaving all kinds of links there. And TK saying if you voted, go check out Mr. Eddie's page. If you didn't vote, go check out Mr. Eddie's page. And apparently TKE is providing a huge amount of support for Mr. Eddie tonight. So he's going to blow the chat up with links to Mr. Eddie's. So the quicker you all go over there and subscribe to Mr. Eddie, the quicker he's going to calm down. So that's I think that's what we need to do. Get over there and subscribe so that TKE calms down a little bit. All right, Fred says he got rid of all his nightshades. This one is different. Front flipper. Ooh. Front flipper, rear flipper, and a thumb stub with a pivot lock, button lock. That sounds interesting. That may be an interesting knife. Fred says he's already subscribed a long time ago. I think we've got a very little number of people in here. Looks like about 6. There's other things going on tonight, maybe 7 people. There's a lot of things going on tonight. And maybe once maybe another live stream may be going, things may pick up over here, maybe. But there's other things on the news that are garnering a lot of attention right now. And I thought about skipping for tonight, but Mr. Eddie said that he would watch, and looks like he's brought the crew over, so that's awesome. TK saying even if you're Martian, go subscribe. There's a suggestion from TKE, and I'm not sure how he expects you to do that, Fred, but there you go. And it does seem like that's going to be an interesting configuration there. If you say so, TKE, I don't think that's the case, but thank you for saying that at least. And Mr. Eddie says he's watching and selling knives, which is his normal activities that he would be doing at this time. Milton, hey, how you doing, sir? Thank you for being here from almost all the way out at the West Coast. Looking forward to Tactical Blade Show this coming Friday. That should be interesting. It's about 40 minutes from my house, and there's also some other things that are going on at the same time at that location. It's CanCon and plus Tactical Blade Show, and I've never shot suppressed, so that should be an interesting day. Looking forward to it. Lord willing, that's what we're planning on doing on Friday. All right. That is not great life advice. That's just not a good idea, just in case the ground fault receptacle does not work correctly. TK, don't get me banned, sir. Don't make me pull your little blue wrench either. And I thought I saw somebody else here that I hadn't recognized. Cassius EDC. Hey, man, thanks for being here. Don't y'all go there. That is correct. Friday is the knife show. Gun parts both days. If you just want the pew-pew part, then go Saturday. But I think that's going to be fun. Again, bad advice. This is not a Help with Gadgets approved comment. So let's get back to, it looks like he's getting back to promoting Eddie's channel. If you haven't done so, please head over to Eddie's channel, get him over 300 so that TK might calm things down a little bit with the post in the chat. That being said, TK, that last link that TKE did post there, he does have a Discord. If you are on Discord, or even if you're not on Discord, click on that link there, go and join that Discord, and it's a nice place to chat. There's also channels in there for buying and selling knives. Just a neat place that you can hang out. El Navajero, thank you for being here, sir. Second from the left, what is that? That is a Kaiser Sparrow. I actually saw those on Amazon. I think it was this morning. They were, I want to say $70, $80, something like that, and they sold out very quickly. That was the price of the micarta version. This is a titanium version that I anodized a few weeks ago. It is, you can tell it's been carried and used a good bit since then, because it's got all kinds of snail trails, marks on it from where I did that. And speaking of which, we might disassemble and anodize the titanium on this one a little bit later. Don't know yet. That's a tentative plan. Depends on how things are going. Yes. Please go subscribe to Mr. Eddie. Get him over 300, please. If you are not subscribed, please. First knife on the left. This is a Keneson Knives Basset Hound. Keneson does a lot of customs. He's out of Texas. He does a lot of customs, but this one happens to be a production model. I think it was Riot that did these. If I'm not mistaken, someone else probably knows. If not, and if you're interested in this knife, hit me up on Instagram. That is my it's Help with Gadgets on Instagram as well. That's one of the knives I'll probably be moving sooner rather than later. It is a really cool knife, but as you can tell, it is a smaller knife. It is not as small as the Kaiser CyberBlade. So just to keep that in mind. TK's has sub to El Navajero. And Fred corrected me on that, so that's a Best Tech production Keynison. It is very cool. Best Tech, he says, in capital letters. Thank you for letting me know that. And Fred said he has the copper version. So there were two versions, the copper version and the blue version. That's fat carbon scales, and it comes with a teal pivot collar as well. I thought the silver looked better, but he included both of those with the knife. And it came with a the packaging was really cool. I probably should go and get it, but the packaging is really cool. It comes in a bag, much like you would get snacks for your dog. And it has the ingredients on the back, which is basically the specs of the knife. Came with a handkerchief inside, a patch, some extra hardware. It had the pivot collars. It was just a really cool presentation. He thought that went out a little bit, I think, and it made for a very cool presentation. All right. OEM normally means original equipment manufacturer, I think, or something like that. But basically, it means the organization or the manufacturing company that makes knives for someone else. In this case, it's Best Tech making something for Keynison. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. I'll try. Can I say something in Spanish? No, because my Spanish is very rusty, and I would probably mispronounce it just because you're asking me to say something. I can say El Navajero. I haven't been practicing Spanish in a long time. It was fairly decent at one point in time, but way out of practice now. YouTube Music Portal, thank you for being here. I think that's the first time you visited this channel, but I have seen you on another live, so thank you for being here. Keynison kind of has their own design language, I guess you could say, and you will notice that this knife here does bear some resemblance to the knife, kind of, sort of. But be that as it may, it's still not the same as this one's not the same as Keynison's knives. It does show some of the same lines. Thank you. I do appreciate you subbing. Paul Mills, thank you for being here. That's probably the staying in Mexico for 5 weeks, and plus the Spanish classes that I had in high school and college. Mark Parks, if I haven't said hello to you, thank you for being here. No. Yep. And I really like Keennison, and I really like this knife. So when it was given to me, that's another reason this one has and will stay in the collection. If you'll notice, this one also has some wear on it. It was given to me with the instructions that I was to carry and use it. So that's what I've done. I've even taken this scale. I had it scratched it really bad, and so I took it off and tumbled it and put it back together. So El Navajero, if you haven't done so, also check out Mr. Eddie's page. Once he gets to 300, TKE will calm things down a little bit on posting the link. So if you haven't gone over there and sub to Mr. Eddie, please do so. And I think I may have mentioned it. Well, I'm behind on chat. He's already been doing this. So. All right, so it looks like we are Mr. Eddie's at 296. 4 more subs will get him to 300. So please, if you haven't done so, head on over there to Mr. Eddie's channel and subscribe. Dwayne Letterman, howdy, neighbor. Well, sort of, kind of, just a few miles away. Thank you for being here, sir. Do appreciate it. Okay, good deal. You've already subscribed, Eddie. Good deal. Things are starting to, looks like we've got 11 people in here. That's very good. Where's that button to make, where's that button to make TKE not be a mod? Let me find that button. What's the action like on that RS Chaos? Let's get back to the knives. Yes, please. The action on that RS Chaos is pretty awesome. It's good. It's really good. I'm thinking. All right, so blacked out blades aren't really my thing. It's okay, but it's not really my thing. I've thought about sending this off to somebody that does lasering and get some kind of design on the blade and on the scales. Or I could tumble it, and then I don't know. I'm just I haven't decided what to do yet. But in the meantime, I've been carrying it and enjoying it because the action is really cool. If you're not familiar with this one, it is a top liner lock, which means it's not a button lock. It is actually a liner lock, very similar to Spyderco's compression lock, which is out of patent now. So it acts much like a liner lock. So you have the detent. You have a detent ball. So it's very very reverse flickable. Let's see. Yep, let's get back to knives. Whoops. The dash hound, I don't think I have. I don't think I've tried that. Let me move this chair. The dash hound I've not tried. I've had the hedgehog. Is it hedgehog? I think it is. That was very cool. Oh, caches, I don't know. We'll have to see about that. I think the FSD, if I recall correctly, it's been a while since I've had one apart. I want to say that's a true button lock, but it's been a while since I've had one apart. You probably know better than I do there, Paul, on that one. All right, TKE says, get Mr. Eddie to 300, and he will do a giveaway on Saturday. Is it he needs 3 or he needs 4? Thought you had an FSD, Mr. Eddie. The top liner locks are really cool. And Dwayne Letterman, why aren't you going down there, man? It's not that far for us. It's like 40 minutes from me. And whoops. He does. He wants another one, apparently. And TKE is off his rocker, I think. Mr. Eddie wants to sell knives. Caches EDC wants a liner lock. Vosted raccoon. All right, let's go ahead and we'll start breaking this. CyberBlade down while we're chatting here. Thinking about trying some anodization on it, but I haven't done the proper cleaning on it yet. I don't even know that I've had that one apart, which is, I know that's weird. I had another one that I did a disassembling cleaning on last night. Haven't posted that one yet. I'll probably need to do that I need to do a video once they get out of the live stream. And then get it uploaded for in the morning. But I did the disassembling cleaning on it. I don't think I'd ever had it apart, which is very unlike me. Sorry about that, Dwayne. It would have been awesome to meet you, but we're going to have to try to see if we can't meet up somewhere else anyways. Well, that's a good idea, TKE. Buying an interesting Amazon knife every couple of weeks, doing a live disassembly, and then giving it away. So notice he said he's doing a live disassembly. He did not necessarily say that he would necessarily get it reassembled before he gives it away. Or maybe I'm just reading a little bit too much into that. Maybe. So we'll have to see how that goes. This could be very interesting. You may actually, if you win one of TK's disassembled knives that he is put in a box and sent to you, it may have a little bit of tumbled effect to it by the time it gets to you. So I don't know. He may have some further clarification on that down below. Yeah, I don't like it when knives don't have a pocket clip. For the most part, I do have American Blade Works slip joint that doesn't have a clip, but that's different anyhow. All right. So TKE has further clarification. He's going to shoot for a reassembly depending on how much grief everybody gives him and whether or not he strips the pivot screws out or the body screws and or if he loses parts, I think. So we'll have to. This should be an interesting thing. This could be you could end up winning a bag of knife pieces. Maybe. I don't know. This is TK is just I'm gathering bits and pieces of information as I'm hearing them. So this could be interesting. All right. Let me go ahead and do this before I get in trouble. And Paul Mills says the American Blade Works slip joint is really cool. Mine is out on loan right now, and should be very cool to get back. But I'm not worried about it. All right, let's put a little bit of alcohol there in the rubbing alcohol there in the cap. And I'm going to throw these pieces here in there. Pivot. If I'm stopping someone from winning something, I apologize there, TKE. Though I'm not sure exactly how I'm preventing someone from winning. You said you were going to do a disassembly and then give away. Technically, you said nothing about reassembling. Just to let y'all know, if you're disassembling a knife and for anodization purposes, make sure that you get all the pieces out because that there is steel, stainless steel probably. Same for the washers there. And I know I've magnetized them, but it'll be all right. But you want to get those bits and pieces out. You want to take out the detent ball, lock bar insert as well. Because if you've got other parts in there touching the titanium, things tend to go awry. All right. I don't know that this is titanium on the back spacer. When it jumps to the magnet like that, that indicates this back spacer is something other than titanium. So we won't be anodizing that piece. That piece will be a contrasting color. The clip is titanium. The standoff is not titanium. And we aren't going to do that. So these two pieces are titanium. They've got some grease that we need to get cleaned off. All right, and we'll see if this set screw is a T6, which I'm assuming is the case. Let's catch up with some. Let's catch up with some chat here. All right, let's see. My words are weapons. I apologize then, Mr. TKE. Your legend precedes you, sir. Thank you, Cassius. Please hit that like button down there. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Apparently, Mr. Eddie needs 4 more subs. Y'all go sub with him if you haven't done so, and get him over that 300 mark. Dwayne, are you talking about the the slip joint? Is that what the one that would be nice and fat carbon? And I apologize, I may have missed something. All right, we have that lock bar or lock bar insert out of the way. Let's see. Mr. Eddie says that he doesn't care about the count, but apparently TKE does. So what I'm doing, and I was did not have it under the camera, but what I'm doing is trying to wipe off any bits of grease, and we'll drop this in the alcohol for a few minutes anyhow, and then pull it out, clean it some more. Normally I would take these and scrub them in the sink with some hot water and some dishwashing soap. But we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna really clean them up without the Dawn dishwashing detergent and hot water, and see what happens. So I'm going to drop them into the alcohol bath there. I am going to wipe off this blade while we got it apart. The neat little CyberBlade. I'm wondering. I think this might be titanium as well. Yep. We're going to try it. This may not go as expected. But I've enjoyed anodizing stuff, and I wanted to try some more things, just to see what happens. I want to try on my own. My own knives, and since the CyberBlade is kind of a channel knife, because I've include that in each one of my reviews. If you haven't watched a review, you may not get the connection there, but I do use that CyberBlade in each one of my reviews. I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off. Let's see. I think that was referring to the American Blade Works slip joint, and you're right. I think that would be very cool. Do you know if is that in the works, Dwayne, or do you know? Mr. Eddie, whoops. Mr. Eddie does have a lot of knives, a lot of very nice knives for sale. He's doing a little bit of a collection reduction, and he's got some very, oh boy, he's got some very nice knives for sale. If you join TKE's Discord, there's actually a there's a channel in there that's got Mr. Eddie's knives. It's got a whole lot of other stuff too. Pretty fly for a knife guy. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Just got home. Well, that's a good thing. We were out and about this afternoon, this evening a little bit as well, and it was good to get home. Not a huge fan of the time change, but that's one of those things. It is what it is. What's everybody carrying today? That's a question I like to find out. And I'm putting on the table what I had on me today. Those were the knives that I had on me today. And I'll scroll on down and hopefully catch some of your pocket check items as well. Pretty fly for a knife guy. Said I broke a $1,000 window yesterday. I imagine there's a story there, one that you may not want to tell, but sorry to hear that. And good deal. Yeah, ask him about that. My Model 1's up for a little modification work. It got sent up before the storm, and he can hang on to it for as long as he needs to. I don't think that's going to work, TKE. I just don't think. El Navajero has a good question as well. Fred said he's playing with a SPK Lamia and a Spyderco Shaman. Hopefully. That's the pronunciation you all use. Maybe not. All right. Now, why is that, TKE? Are you waiting to do it on your live? And that is I've had that problem before. I didn't have that problem until I started doing lives or started doing YouTube. When I got it boxed in, I unboxed it. Now I have to set up the cameras or I have to wait till live. And that's taught me patience. Oops, I missed something. Maybe not. Okay. Rock solid. Okay, I got it now, I think. And Fred has a good point. You're supposed to throw knives at a tree stump, not a window. Although I'd be careful about throwing those folded knives. They may or may not. That may or may not work. TKE says he carried the Quiet Carry Large and the Rosie XL. I'm not so sure about that one. I think you may be trolling a little bit on that one, maybe. Lawnmower through the rocks. That's no bueno. Not good at all. TK says, Neves misdemeanor drop is Friday. So if that's one you're interested in, make sure you head over there to Neve's website and is it a drop or a pre-order? If it's the drop, that means you may get it in a few days or a week or so. The pre-order could be a while, and I don't know the details on that. Yes, it is making the videos, and you can't always. It's not always easy just to grab a knife and cut the box open and then be able to play with the knives. Fred says, "Yep, he wants the Neves knife, the misdemeanor." And the ever-supportive Knight said, "Fred, be on Neves Knives Company website Friday." All right, we've got another Spyderco Shaman and a Tempest pinion from a guy that helps with the gadgets. That's pretty cool. So how you liking that pinion? He was one of our winners from the 500 giveaway. And I was correct. I surmised that that might not be the case. So TK says he only carried the quiet carry waypoint large. And Fred says it's time to go to sleep. Sleep well, Fred. Appreciate you being here. He's got to help get to sleep and probably going to work and help save some lives in the morning. And Cassius says, carried my Demco 8020.5 today. That's a cool knife as well. Paul Mills actually bought one for me that was my nephew's. In fact, that's my nephew's same nephew's parts there on the Sumo. And TKE has been helpful and supportive and has put down the link for Neves Knife Co. up on the screen there. And it is a drop, so that means they are in the U. Well, they're in the USA at Jared's house. So TKE's probably got his on the way already. Hey, thanks for being here. And that is absolutely correct. I may have mentioned that on the giveaway live. That knife to be a budget knife is like butter. Kubi did a good job with that. All right, TK, he's giving us an update on Mr. Eddie's channel. Mr. Eddie's channel is at 296. Still needs 4 more subs. If you are not subbed to his channel and you desire to do so, we're not coercing anyone to go subscribe. But if you so desire, please do so. TKE's got it in his heart to help Mr. Eddie get over that 300 mark. And El Navajero says he carried my QSP Canary crossbar-like version. Or wait a minute. He carried the QSP Canary. And TK says he actually just mailed Jared's misdemeanor prototype back to him. I think that was, I thought you said you were sending that back like a week ago. Was that not the case? Did you hang on to it for a few extra days, maybe? All right, let's get some parts out of here and clean them up and let them dry. What I want to try to do is get any junk out of these. Well, my help for keeping it on camera. Getting any kind of grease or oil off of these, because the anodization doesn't tend to care for that the grease or the oil that may be left on the titanium. So we're going to try to get that stuff off. And so we're going to let that dry off for a minute. Set the alcohol back in place. Let's actually let's put that up there. Let's get caught up with some comments here. And there's TKE being so supportive. I really love your lives. I'm so glad that Milton told me about them. Thanks, Milton. I think. I thought it was someone else. I could be wrong. Cassius said, I just put a big chip in the blade of my interior Rat 5 fixed blade. Well, I'll have to take a look at the short on how that happened, but hopefully you can sharpen that out without too much problem. Paul Mills says he has the 20.5, or Brian Kim has the 20.5, making a K390 reblade. That should be cool. And El Navajero says he's never seen a live titanium anode. Well, this could be interesting. We've tried it a couple of times and hasn't gone as well as we had hoped. So, actually, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and get started. I'm gonna do a little, just a warm up, doing my CyberBlade, and try to refine the process, get it going good. I did want to show you all something here. Well, Mr. Eddie, if you've never seen titanium being anodized, it means because you've been taking a nap during the previous lives. And I do not know what you're talking about, TKE. Let's go ahead and share. I want to share a screen. So this chart here actually shows the different what the different voltages do. Okay, so we've got everything from a 0, which is what your normal titanium would look like, and it shows you what all the colors as you increase in voltage, 2.5 volts at a time, thereabouts. So we can. And you can visibly see it change if you set it at a high voltage and drop it in. You can see the colors change very quickly. I want to say my nephew wants, on his, he wants the 35 volts, which is this color here on these parts here that we'll do in just a few minutes. So he wants that color to be 35, which is where my cursor is right there. I don't know which color I'm going to do the CyberBlade, and I guess we could kind of have some folks throw up the voltages that you think would look good, and we may see what the general consensus is on that. So I'm going to leave this up here for a minute, let you take a look, and see what you think, what color you think would be the best color to do this particular knife. That being the Kaiser CyberBlade. And we're going to do these parts here as we have them listed. Or not listed, as they're laid out here. The scales, the clip, and the thumb stud thingamabobber. So what are you guys thinking? Let me pop back over here to the chat and see if I can see it. Da-da-da. May not can see it. There we go. So 2 minutes ago, the chat went to nothing, apparently. And Knives and Pizza, hey, thanks for being here. I don't know if I said hello or not. And he said purple looks good on every knife, in my opinion. Purple is not my favorite color, but I will do purple if that's what everybody votes on. Milton's popped back in here. Cassius says, can you anodize aluminum? I haven't tried it. I think you can. I haven't tried it with voltage. Someone else on here may be able to answer that question a little bit better. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I think you can, but it's a different. I think it's a different spectrum. Because, yeah, Mr. Eddie says it can be done, but it's a different process. All right, let me move some more stuff here so that I don't want to mix up these parts. So in this container, I have just distilled water, which basically means water without any of the minerals in it. Demineralized. The minerals can cause contamination. In this container, I have some baking soda along with that distilled water. I think distilled water is what I'm talking about. Yeah, distilled water. We have a distilled water with some baking soda in the bottom, and we actually have a bent fork here, which is the kind of our ground. And we're going to connect this to that. And then our other side is a positive lead, and I had a piece, I cut a new piece of titanium wire, And if I can't find it, then I'll have to get another piece of titanium wire. But I thought I had it laying here, and I don't see where it went. And I may have actually knocked it off into the floor. Nope, that's not working. Let's see if I can find this titanium wire. Well then, we shall cut a new piece. It wouldn't be a proper live without something not going as planned. Speaking of plan, let me check the, where did we get to? All right, there we go. Knives and pizza. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Pink, Mind of Milton says. Tell me what number you're talking about there, Mr. Milton. Make my screen bigger. I don't know how to do that. That didn't work. Whatever I just did didn't work, I don't think. Let's see. Full screen layout. Okay, made it bigger. You can't see what I'm doing with the pieces though, right? So did y'all choose which color we needed? Y'all go ahead and choose which color we're going to do this at. Or else if I don't get a whole lot of feedback on this in the next few minutes, what we're going to do is do it a little bit at a time and go from there. I can do that too. All right, fresh piece of titanium wire there. TK, I need all the help I can get, man. So when there's a suggestion, I'm going to try it. All right, let's go back to the this. Let's try to figure this out. Okay. Hey, look at there. That's something. We've still got the ano up there. I think I'm going to do away with that just momentarily. We've got our table back up here now. $87.5, 65, 95. 95 was actually, I think, what this one was, and so I want to do a little bit of a different color there. 87.5. Let's see. We do have some numbers coming in now. Okay. Got some suggestions there. I see a couple of 70-something numbers. 65. So somewhere between 65 and 85 is what I'm seeing most of the numbers being. So we may work up to that and see how it goes. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. All right. Off to the side. Well, let me blow this back up. And what I will do, I'll actually drop a link to this. Let me find it. Okay. I'll actually drop this into the chat so that you, if you're on a computer, you can go to it. And click on that. All right, let's see if we can get, hey, look at there. All right, back on the full screen here. All right, so what I have over here is some Wink. This is actually rust remover. It's acid. I could probably look at it and tell you what it is. It's hydrofluoric acid. So not something that you want to breathe in a lot of. So I would recommend keeping that covered up. So what I'm going to do is actually put the piece on it. Dip it in the water, or the alcohol actually again. And I'm going to dip it in water to clean any of that off. And then I'm going to immerse it in the Wink. And I'm going to leave it there for just a minute. It'll start bubbling. And I'll leave it there for just a second after that. And then I'll bring that back over across and rinse it off again. Just get any of that acid off of it. All right. I'm going to drop it into this one, and I'm going to turn and cover the Wink back up. I'm going to turn this on and turn the voltage up just a wee bit. I think I'm going to have a little bit of amperage there. And I have a variable power supply over here off to the right. So I've got my voltage turned a little bit lower now. Okay. And you can tell that's about 12 volts or so, and it's got like a bronzish color to it. You can tell that has changed. Hey, MPG. Meredith, thanks for being here. Meredith with an E's, no I. Mr. Eddie says he runs his at 0 amps. Well, mine with 0 amps just goes back down to 0 volts, I believe. Oh, there is an I in there somewhere, so I must have missed her spelling up. The spelling of her name just all up earlier today. All right, let's turn this up a little bit further. Amps are showing about 0.2 amps. That's about 20 volts there. You can tell it's got more of a purplish hue to it now. MEREDTH. There we go. All right, so that's about 20 volts there. It's turned a more purple hue. If you can tell. I'll actually pull it out of the water here. Let me turn the power supply off and let the voltage clear out. And then we'll take a look at the, well, let me actually dip it in there. Not a bad color. And it doesn't appear the same on screen that it does in real life. It's a little bit different. But as that continues to dry, you'll see the colors. You'll see the colors changing when it dries. But I don't think that's exactly the color we're looking for. So let's put it back in there. Dip it back in there just to make sure it doesn't have anything on it. Back into the water bath. And then back into our titanium bath. Whew. About turned over wheat. That would not have been good. All right. So let's go up to about 25 volts. The amperage is set really low, Mr. Eddie. So that's a little bit deeper color blue. And we'll continue to go up. Let's go to 30. You can tell that the blue is more along the lines of what I would probably do. It's a kind of a steelish, still gray blue a little bit. All right, let's continue on. Let's look at 35. You see it kind of getting a teal color that was mentioned. It's starting to get a little bit of a greenish hue to it. Y'all yell at me because we've not got we got a out of focus. Let's see if we can get this thing to cooperate. There we go. Thanks, MPG. It went blurry. Hopefully I fixed it now. I hope. All right, so this is kind of a more gray color. So let's go up to 37.5 and see what happens. 37.5-ish. So that's getting more of a grayish color to it. And I wish there was a way for me to zoom in, but with my camera phone using whatever this is, I'm StreamYard, I don't think it's going to work. All right, let's turn it on up to 40. You can see a few little bubbles coming out of it. You do not want the piece to touch the ground over there, that fork. All right, so let's go on up to 42.5. Well, that didn't go as expected. Okay, that's, oops, turning the wrong one. Okay, that's about 30 volts. It's not going any higher than that without playing with the amperage. It's about 33 volts there. 35 volts. There's 40 volts. $42.5 volts thereabouts. 45 volts. Kind of getting a greenish hue to it. And about 50 volts. All right. It continues to change colors as we go up in voltage. Hopefully you all can see that. That's about 60 volts there. I think we said we want somewhere in the 65 to 85 range. Is that correct? So we've got a little bit different color coming on now. This is more of a goldish color. And the 65 was what was mentioned as a desired color. So let's see how that looks. And I'm trying to keep up with you guys in the chat, but it's y'all looks like y'all are discussing some things amongst yourself, which is just fine. All right, let's go on up to 67.5. That's getting a little bit of a color to it, as you can tell. Continues to change color. There's 70. Actually, I'm going to let that one sit for a minute, and then I'm going to pull it out and look at it. All right, let's go ahead and turn that off and pull it out of the water and take a look. So you saw what color it was a while ago, and now this is more the color that it is now. And of course, once it dries off, let's dip it in the alcohol. That should dry off a little bit faster than the water. Hopefully you can see in just a second the color that it's looking like. Should have brought some paper towel in here. I think I actually have some here. So once that dries off, then you can tell it's got like a pink color to it. So that's not quite the color we're looking for, I don't think. So let's dip it back into the alcohol, make sure it didn't have any oils or anything on, and let's continue on. Let's go up to 72.5. I think we're looking for something like a blurple. There's 75. I can tell it's starting to turn colors just a little bit. And the cool thing about this, if we don't like it, we can put it back in the wink, take it back down to titanium, and try again. Oh boy. I love it that y'all get along so well in chat. That's all I can say at this point in time. Let's go back. Let's go up a little bit more. Let's go up to 80 and see what happens. All right, I'm going to stop the voltage right now, let that drop out, and then we're going to pull this out and take a look at it. This has got a nice little shade to it. And let me find, I think we're probably going to want to do a little more I don't think it's got quite the colors we're looking for. Yeah, not quite what I was thinking. More power. And I think when we go slowly, like just a little bit at a time, sometimes it doesn't work the same as basically choosing an amperage or choosing a voltage and then going with that. Let's go to 85 with what we currently have. And that's just looking like it's that may be turning green a little bit. I think somebody mentioned doing a 90 volt, so let's see how that 90 volt looks. And that's basically why I wanted to do this, just playing around, making it, giving it a try and seeing what happens. I think it's getting a little greenish hue to it now. Maybe not. I don't know. I think we may be fixing to do a regroup and try this again. Go with a lower voltage. Yeah, I don't see any changes taking place now. So let's turn that off. We're going to turn down the controls on this thing. We're going to rinse it off because it's not getting the color that I thought it was going to get. And let's try it again. Let's do a lower voltage. What do y'all say? Sound like a plan? Good, okay. All right. So that was pretty cool. I don't know that y'all saw that, but when I put it in the wink, it was almost like the color started showing back through. And the cool thing is, once we get a voltage, we'll do everything at that voltage, and it'll be fairly quick. All right, let's try this again. Make sure my amperage and voltage are down. Turn this back on. Are we clear? I think it got it back clear. Okay, that's like 5 volts there. So that one's got like a gold color to it now, and I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Let's go for a kind of a bluish color. All right, that was more of a bronzish color. On up a little bit more to 20. It's getting a little bit deeper purple. It may be the color that we stay with right there. I think I like that. All right. There we go. And that's not coming across the same on your screen there. But I'm going to take this one loose and do the other one. See if we can't get a similar color on both sides, if not the same exact color. Really, what we should do here to get the same color, let's go ahead and put both of them together with the side that we want facing out. And I may have to, well, let's just do it this way. I should have done them together to begin with. What happens if you don't keep it exactly the same? If you don't keep it exactly the same, then it will, the colors could be off a little bit. No, sir. Mr. Eddie, I don't believe, Mr. TKE, I don't believe so. All right, let's see how this works. Cover that acid back up. And we've got our voltage going up. There you go with the bronze. It's about 25 there. Kind of a purplish hue to the bronze there. Let's wait and let that drop. I think I want probably about 30. It's got 28 there. Let's go on up to 30. Okay, that's 30. Let's go with that. All right, let's go ahead and turn the power off before I pull Mr. Eddie. I'm going to have to be careful about that wink. All right, dipping it back into our, and I think inadvertently I got a little bit of a fade pattern here, and I think I'm okay with it. All right, let's take a look at this. It's kind of more purpley on this side, it looks like, down to a blue on here, which I think I'm going to leave in place. And I see some guys making some suggestions on things that aren't going to happen. Just not gonna happen. All there is to it. All right, I'm gonna do these two pieces together as well. Go ahead and use that same voltage. But first, of course, we've got to dip it in the alcohol, get it into the water, get it into the wink until it starts bubbling. What's doing is cleaning that, etching that surface back into the water, back into the alcohol. Just making sure all that stuff is off. And now let's see if we can get this piece anodized to the same. I'm going to end up spilling that wink. All right, that's turning out a more aqua color, which is okay. Different sized pieces are going to do different things. In this case, let's rinse that off. These turned a more greenish color, which I'm fine with. I think that will go. I think that'll go well with this once the colors are dry. So we're going to go with that. All right, let's do some pieces for the other one because we are an hour and 40 minutes into a live, and I don't know where the time goes sometimes on these, but it's fun hanging out with y'all, letting y'all chat about things in many cases. And I wonder if I can do multiple pieces and try to get these the same. I think I'm going to do that. All right. Let's go ahead and hook those up into the alcohol, into the water, into the wink till we start seeing some bubbles flying up. Get the color off of those. All right. Rinse them off. Make sure there's nothing on that'll mess with the colors and get those submerged. All right, here we go. They should go back up to about 30 volts and okay. That's how those turned out. We'll see how that works. All right. Let's take these off, and then we've got a couple more couple more to do. Truth be told, it seems like we're headed back to the same color that the Sumo came with, or a very similar color. Could be wrong about that, but that's where it seems like it's headed. All right, I'm gonna try these here. These are the thumb stud thingamajiggers on the Sumo. All right, same here. We're gonna dip them into the distilled water, or excuse me, into the alcohol, distilled water. We're going to put them in wink until they start bubbling. All right. Get those rinsed off so they're back to their fairly original color. And then let's flip on the power supply. That went way higher than it was supposed to. I think it has to do with, there we go. See, those are more of an aqua, and I don't want that. I want more of a blue. And I don't know which way I need to go for that. We may try that again. Different size. I've noticed that different size titanium pieces anodize differently. And this appears to be doing more of a, okay, let's, we're going to go, we're going to turn this off. We're going to dip it back into the wink. And try that again. I want a little bit lighter blue. Okay, got that. Let's get that covered back up. And get our, actually let us turn that down a little bit more. Go slowly up to it. Clear on the water. It's got to a bronzish color now. Starting to get a little blue hue to it. It's going up to about 20. All right, we've got like a purple color now. So we're going to go up just a little bit at a time until we start getting that lighter color. Let's go 25. It's starting to lighten a little bit, not exactly to what I want it to be just yet. Let's go on up to 27.5. Just trying to match this as close as I can. I am not an expert, nor did I stay in a Holiday Inn last night. That's still the brighter color. Let's go on just a little bit further. All right, I think I'm going right there. Let's see how this looks once. I think once those dry off, those will be more like those. I think so. We're going to find out. All right. Then I've got a couple of screws to do. Well, the pivot screw. So I'm going to try and do something here. I'm going to tighten this one up on let's use my handy dandy pliers here. All right, I think I've got that one. And I'm going to connect the other one to this side. Pliers again. And I'm going to try to do them at the same time. I'm going to put both of the pieces down in there and connect the hot wire in the middle. We'll see how that works. All right, clean the alcohol, and we got the water. All right, we're going to put it in the wink, let it start to take that stuff off, the old anodization off. All right, and then back into the distilled water, back into the alcohol, back into the distilled water, and then we're actually going to turn this down a little bit so that we don't get too much voltage on it. And we're going to try to get up to that 30 volts thereabouts like we did with the other. Go up slowly. I'll stop at about 25 and let it oops. Sorry for the silence here. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting these some semblance. These look kind of a greenish blue. It's not quite the color I'm looking for. So let's go on up just a little more. 27.5. I got a little bit darker blue there. Just a little bit more, I think. All right, I think we've got it. Let's actually turn that off before I do a Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie, you already have a Norcy. All right, I think this color is going to be similar. Okay. All right. I'm going to wipe these down. These pieces down. Let's set that over here. Move some stuff out of the way. We don't need that. This is our water. This is rubbing alcohol. And this is our solution, which we don't need right now. And we're going to send that off to the side there as well. Are y'all enjoying watching me doing this? Watching me struggle? I would assume so. All right, time for this to come off. All right. Pliers. Okay. All right. Okay, wiping off this. Gonna see how well that meshes together. I think that's gonna be pretty good though. And then the other two pieces there. We'll see how that see how he likes that. And then we've got this color here. Let's wipe that off. I think that one actually turned out better than this, but we're gonna see. All right. Set those up there. Let those be drying. And let me get the parts to a sumo down here and see if we can assemble this bad boy. And at least show you one knife before being reassembled before everybody leaves. All right. And I know it's probably just me, but it got warm in this little room. There's 4 lights on, and I'm sitting here blabbing, so it's got a bit warm in here. You know how TKE feels out in the garage on a warm Saturday morning. All right, I'm just going to clean up this a little bit. We've cleaned. Oh, there's Austin. All right. Austin will attest to the fact that the colors look different on screen than they do in real life. He's thought he liked several of the colors until he saw them in real life. TK, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for leaving the phone on so that I get the hours. I appreciate it. You and Mr. Eddie surely have been channel builders. And that being said, I appreciate everyone that is hanging around and watching me blunder through this evening. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here, and appreciate all the support that I get from the community. All right, let's see. There's 2 pins here. And don't tell me I have lost a pin. Thought there was another pin here. Austin, your knife may not be complete, man. I'm pretty sure there was a pin that I do not see. So we may have to look around a little bit. It's probably here somewhere. It just, I'm just not seeing it. And it may actually be in the other at my desk where I disassembled it. In fact, y'all hold your horses a second. I'm going to look. I'm not seeing it right now, but it is a lot cooler out in the other part of the house. Just saying. All right. Let's go ahead and get these in here. And let me find my gunny glide. Put a little bit there. And yeah, that's what I was looking for. All right. Let's get the spring. Let's get that out of there. We have to put this on here. And the way this goes on, it has to go into the slot. Are y'all able to see this? Let me scoot this over a little bit. It has to go into the blade has to go into that slot, and it has to go down over that pivot. And then that drops into place. What's that? There we go. That drops into place. We need to put this other bearing on there. And we need to get this into place. Then we can put the other pieces on there. Ah. All right, I'm going to let that come off and put this back on. A button lock is not my favorite knife to assemble. All right. Let's get the T8. Let's get a little Loctite on here and get that started. All right, and the pin that I'm missing is actually goes into the back spacer under this clip, but it also holds that clip into place. So I need to find it, but once I get this together, then I think I'll hopefully be able to look for it. Just want to show y'all kind of what it's going to look like as a finished product. Okay. And now I have to get the thumb studs on. And those are that's the T6. That's in the driver there, so we'll go ahead and button that up. MBG, thanks for being here. I'm not getting all the chats, but I am trying to keep an eye. So there you have it. That's the that's how it looks. So hopefully that will that'll be more better. I think that looks pretty good. Of course, we got to get the find the clip for the find the pin for the clip, and that may be under stuff here. Maybe, I don't know. We're gonna look for it, but I'm not gonna waste the time here at this point in time trying to do that. If not, we'll figure something out. All right, let's go ahead and put this one together. I think that one turned out pretty cool. It's got kind of a fade on it, and wasn't trying for that. So anyhow, all right, let's get this pivot cleaned up. Pivot screw cleaned up, not the pivot. We've got to put this, put that back in place. And we have a little screw here to put there. Let's switch back to that T6. There's our lock bar insert back where it needs to be. All right. Let's find, this is the huge stop pin that's on this one. We have a, what am I missing here? We have two offsets back here. And then it's going to be helpful if we get the bearings and the pivot out. Get those cleaned up, because that's something that we're going to need as well. All right. This is a D-shaped pivot, and you can see the D shape there on the other side. So that's going to be back toward the tail end of the knife. Put our washer on, clean off a bearing. We'll set that one off to the side. Let it dry for a second. Same for that. We do have a backspacer that we can go ahead and put in place. This is, I think this is how it goes. I drop that out. Okay. Let's find the blade. It's over here somewhere. There we go. Let's go ahead and get that. Make sure there's nothing. Those bearings are not the best, but that's okay. Get the blade on. Get another bearing on. And Mr. Eddie's bailing as well, but it is 11:30. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Get this on. This one's about ready to button up. Okay. Get that in place. Time to put the T8 back on there. Put a little bit of the blue Loctite. I like using the Loctite stick. It's a lot easier to deal with. Now we have a couple of screws to get back in there. All right. Oh, okay. We're going to have one that's a little bit longer. That should be our screw for our clip. And then there's not that one, this one on this side. And last but not least, let's go ahead and put this thumb doohickey in. I'm way behind on chat, but y'all were doing a good job of chatting amongst yourselves and extracurricular chats that didn't involve me, so that's okay. Glad everybody enjoyed their time here. It does not want to be seating right. I think I'm doing something incorrect here. Let's try that again. Putting it the correct way would be extremely helpful. And that helps it look better and perform better. All right. Get my fingerprints off of there. Let you see how that looks. And I think that one turned out pretty well once it dries. I think that one turned out pretty well. Yeah, I like it. Just customized it for the channel. And we're good to go. This is a cool little knife, actually. Pretty much 3 fingers, but action on it's fairly decent. You just have to be careful not to get your finger too deep into the huge opening hole there, or it messes things up. All right, let me... Now it's going to bother me until I can find that little pin, or else I'm going to have to manufacture another pin. But we're going to look for it, and after the live, see if we can't find it. All right, let's see if I can catch up. We're down to 7 folks in here, so if you're still there and listening, man, I really appreciate it. Y'all have chatted a lot, and I don't think I'm going to be able to go back and do all that. We are... How much are we up here? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. I don't think I've had a live go that long. So I think now is a good time to go ahead and close it down. Again, I really appreciate you watching. I hope you've had a fun, some kind of a fun time here tonight, that you may have learned a little bit along the way. I continue to learn. And I appreciate you joining in with the learning process. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Hope to see y'all again soon. Thank y'all again for being here. Good night.